Welcome to the online tutorial session for Statistics for Economics. We are going to continue our first chapter, which is an introduction. And today's topic is a very familiar topic to all of you, which is economic and non-economic activities. We are going to start with this topic. Now, depending on wants, we all have some wants. All human activities can be broadly divided into two categories. If we take care of our wants, if we just notice our wants, our activities can be divided into two activities. First one is economic activities and the second one is non-economic activities. So we are going to start with the economic activities. Now, what are economic activities? Economic activities refer to those activities which are undertaken to earn a living. Those activities which are undertaken to earn a living. All those activities which you are performing, or which your dad is performing, or your mom is performing to earn a living, to earn some money, to earn a livelihood. So those activities which are undertaking for earning a living, then those activities are categorized as economic activities. For example, worker working in a factory. If a worker is working in a factory to earn some wages, then that is an economic activity. Shopkeeper selling goods in his shop, economic activities. Doctor attending patients in his clinic, economic activities. Every economic activity should undertake three main economic activities. So under economic activities, there are certain activities which should take place. There should be some activities which should take place in the economic activities. The first one is consumption. So let's talk about consumption. Consumption is an economic activity which deals with the use of goods and services for the satisfaction of human wants. Those activities which are undertaken to satisfy human wants by using certain goods and services. Suppose if someone is consuming something, anything he is consuming, just for the sake of satisfying his wants, then that activity will be termed as consumption. For example, eating bread. If I am eating bread just for the sake of satisfying my hunger, then that activity is known as consumption. I must have brought that bread from the market and now I am consuming that bread. So that comes under the consumption. Let's talk about the other activity, which is, other one is production. Now, production refers to all the activities which are undertaken to produce goods and services for generation of income and satisfying human wants. So, what is production? Production means to manufacture some goods and services, to produce some goods and services for the sake of earning some income, from generating some income. If I am producing something just for the sake of having some profits, for generating income, and also for the sake of satisfying the human wants. Because as I am producing goods, those goods are being purchased by the humans, by the consumers, and they are satisfying their human wants. So, once again, production refers to all those activities which are undertaken to produce goods and services for generation of income and satisfying human wants. So, basically, consumption and production, these two activities are known as the two vital elements of economy. These two activities, a question can arise: what are the two vital or two important elements of an economy? Consumption and production. This production and consumption are the most important elements of an economy. Is that clear? Now let's come to the third one, which is distribution. Distribution is that economic activity which studies how income generated is distributed among the factors of production. Whatever income is generated in the production phase, how that income is to be distributed. How to distribute that income among the factors of production. Now, what is factors of production? Factors of production are those components which helps in the production of goods and services. For example, land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. So these are the factors of production, which is land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. So income generated has to be distributed according to the factors of production. What is the role of factor of production? According to that role, these land, labor, capital and entrepreneur receives the or gets the income, which is rent, wages, interest and profit. So these factors of production receives the distributed income, which is already generated in the production phase. Is that clear? Now let's come to the next topic, which is non-economic activities. Economic activities. Non-economic activities are not concerned with the creation of money or wealth. Basically, these are those activities which are not concerned. They don't have any concern or any kind of relation with the creation of money or creation of wealth. So all those activities which do not concern with the creation of money or wealth are known as non-economic activities. Very simple. Those activities which are not done for increasing our wealth or increasing our money, those activities are termed as non-economic activities. Basically, those activities, these non-economic activities are just done for the psychological satisfaction, not for the creation of money or creation of wealth. For example, housewife or a mother cooking food for the family. If a housewife or mother is preparing food for her family, then that activity will be termed as non-activity, because your mom is not going to get salary for cooking food for your family. Is that clear? So in that case, it's under the non-economic activities. Now here are some examples of non-economic activities. First of all, any kind of charity work like blood donation, free education to needy. These charity work come under the non-economic activities. Next one is all these social activities like get together, attending parties. All these activities come under the social activities, and these social activities are the example of non-economic activities. Third one is political activities by different political parties. There are so many activities run by the different political parties during the time of elections or any sort of programs, awareness program. All those activities which are done by the political parties is also an example of non-economic activity. And last but not the least, the religious activities. All those activities which are done for the sake of our religion, any religious gathering, any religious activities, all those activities comes under the non-economic activities. So I hope you all have understood the concept of economic and non-economic activities. There is one more topic left, which is some basic terms. There are 3 to 4 terms which we will cover in this video only. So let's come to the next topic. The next topic is, there are few important terms which you need to learn, which you need to understand. Now the first one is very easy, consumer. So you all know who is a consumer. A consumer is the one who consumes goods and services for the satisfaction of his wants. Anyone who consumes, who utilizes, who uses that good and services just for the sake of satisfaction of his wants is known as consumer. The second one, producer. This is also very easy. A producer is one who produces goods and services for the generation of income. The consumer consumes that goods and services for the satisfaction of his wants. A producer produces goods and services for the generation of income. For example, a farmer or a manufacturer. Is that clear? The producer is the one who produces goods and services for the generation of income. Now the next one, service holder. Who is a service holder? He is a person who works from some other person. Basically, he is an employee, right? He is a person who works for some other person and gets paid for it in the form of salary and wages. So service holder is a person who works from some other person, and in that case he gets remunerated in the form of salary or wages. Is that clear? The next one is service provider. He is a person who provides some kind of services. He is a person who provides some kind of services to other for a payment or fees, like lawyers, doctors, bankers. All those professionals, all those persons provide us some kind of services, and for that services they ask for the payment or fee or charges. Now the next one is exchange. Under exchange, the price determination through the forces of demand and supply is studied. Now, price determination is a chapter in your microeconomics which you will study later in this year. But just for now, you must understand the demand. There is a force called demand and there is a force called supply. Demand of goods and supply of goods. So according to those demand and supplies, the price is determined. The price is not determined by some businessman. No, it is determined by the demand and supply of that good. According to the supply, according to the demand, suppose if good is having very much demand in the market and it is found in abundance, then that good will be of very lesser price. But suppose if any good is very limited in the world and its demand is very high, then what will the price? The price will be very high, like diamond. So the demand and supply are those forces which help in the determination of price. So under it we call it exchange. Is that clear? Now, exchange of what? Exchange of goods and services in terms of money. Now, public finance. What is public finance? It is the most important topic. It is a topic of public economics. Public economics, under public economics, you study with the economics of the government. How government deals the things, you study about that economics of government, under which you just study about the incomes and expenditures of the government. So, public finance, it is the most important topic of public economics, which deals with the economics of government, under which public finance you study about the income and expenditure of the government. Is that clear? So that's all for this video. You have learned about the economic and non-economic activities. You studied with the terms consumption, production, that are the most important vital elements of the economy. You also studied about the distribution, you studied about the non-economic activities, you learned some examples, and you learned some different terms: consumer, producer, service holder, service provider, exchange, and public finance. So that's all for this video. See you soon.